So, so, welcome everyone to the Ancestral Lineage Healing Community monthly call. And I just wanted to say, if you're watching the recording and would like to join the live calls where people come and have some time to share with each other, just look at the show page notes at the bottom here to sign up for the free Lineage Healing Toolbox. And this will add you to the mailing list for the monthly call, and it provides you with the monthly Zoom link. So I want to begin by just taking a moment for all of us to set this energetic field with a prayer of appreciation, and then we'll call on a trusted guide. Each of us has different guides. It's one of the things that I talked about on another recorded call. And then I'll talk a little bit about simple ritual. So just taking a moment, let's take a breath. And just for this moment, letting everything else go and feeling your connection to yourself. I'm going to speak a few pieces of appreciation. I want to send out my love and appreciation to the land and all of the elements of nature: air, water, fire, earth, ether. And as I say that appreciation, I'm recognizing that these elements are outside of me and also within me, within each of us in our bodies. We have air, water, fire, earth, ether. Sending out an appreciation to today, I'm going to mention the clouds because there just seemed to be something really powerful this summer with feeling a connection to the clouds in different places that I've visited, and how there's a bit of a distinction. There is a difference, and yet it's all within us and around us. So thank you to nature for reminding us of our connection and for bringing comfort and ease, because that's what it feels like the words are in this moment. Sending out appreciation to our wise um, ancestors, our vibrantly well ancestors, those who have called us into this space and who are bringing their guidance, wisdom, love, protection, trust. Thank you for your presence in our lives. Thank you to our trusted guides, those who are in another realm who come in to clear the energetic space around us and set up boundaries for ritual so that as we step into these different realms, whether it's accessing our intuition or a spirit of the land or an ancestor, thank you for providing us with protection that is just good for the human body to have. It's not to create a barrier, it's good energy management. So thank you for that. And thank you to all of you who have come live to the call, bringing your wisdom, your energy. There's something that just amplifies the information for each of us so that each of us receives that piece of an idea, a spark, a comfort, and ease in the moment. So as we breathe into this space, take a moment to call on a trusted guide. This could be an angel, a saint, a deity, a goddess, a nature spirit like the ocean or a tree. And just calling on them and asking them to clear the energy around you so that you feel your own sovereignty here. You get to feel yourself. And then setting up a ritual of protection. This could be an energy like golden light from the sun, surrounding you and holding your sovereignty. Silver light from the moon, wrapping another layer around, so that anything that is not for you is reflected back, reflected outward. And then you have the free will, the power to invite what you want to into your space. It could be a layer of iron from the earth surrounding you so that any kind of negativity or static coming your way gets transmuted into mulch and goes back down into planet Earth. So feeling yourself connected to the earth and also connected to your soul chakra above your head. And then just taking another breath. So I'll ease gently into this topic and for you to, just feel the support that you have from the spirit world. So I wanted to highlight this month simple rituals, and I emphasize the word simple because it can be fun to create a more complicated ritual with lots of details and lots of steps. A ritual is usually a type of ceremony that involves specific steps with a certain level of reverence. But as I say reverence, I also think of intention because a ritual doesn't have to be serious, even though sometimes it is. A ritual can be something as starting each day, walking outside, throwing your hands up in the air, and welcoming the birds, welcoming the sky, welcoming the day. And then you go back and make your cup of coffee or tea. So I wanted to highlight this as a way because so I now have 3 online self-paced ancestral lineage healing courses. And the first course, level 1, is all about building a relationship with the unseen world. Week 1 covers building a relationship with a trusted protector guide to establish ritual safety as a daily practice. And that's what we were just doing, calling in a trusted protector guide. I've also talked about it on another video. Week 2 focuses on building a relationship with the land and nature. Week 3 emphasizes connecting with the blessings of our ancestors. And then week 4 is about building a relationship with simple rituals. So I wanted to share a few ideas that I have in that course and then to add on to it with some other things also. So, like I said, a ritual is a type of ceremony, involves specific steps. It can also be what we might call a tradition that's been passed from generation to generation or culture to culture. And some of the ways to think about that is maybe a way that you celebrate a new baby or child coming into your family, your community, your neighborhood, or a birthday or an anniversary, because these traditions can involve ritual. Rituals can last a few minutes or days. As I said, good morning to the world can be a ritual that lasts a minute. It could last a month or even a year, these rituals. But today I really want to inspire you to see the power of simplicity and consider how a simple gesture can honor and connect you with yourself or with your family or friends and with your ancestors. And just know that when I say family or friends, I am talking about the land. I am talking about our precious fur babies. You know, they are our family and friends. The land is our kin. So rituals can serve to deepen a connection with the living and the spirits. Rituals can help you unravel old patterns or burdens while inviting more blessings, gifts, and talents from your lineages into the lives of the living in the physical world as well as the spirits. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, one ritual is welcoming a new baby into the family. This can be a baby you're bringing into your home, a baby you are related to, a baby joining your community, even through adoption, fostering as a neighbor. It can be welcoming a pet, an animal, a plant, things that are living into your home can have some kind of ritual. It can be a new blanket or clothes. It could be a sharing of food, an offer to help. It can be having a special bed or place, that there could be a ritual with welcoming a plant by dusting off the shelf and placing the plant there with intention and care. So reflect on, for yourself, these traditions in your community and how you may have participated in welcoming living beings into your home. So that's one idea. Another idea is I want to return to this whole thing about celebrating your annual birthday because it's interesting. I've had a few people in the last few days talk about getting ready to turn 50 or 60 or 70. And this just those seemed to be the decades that were prevalent in let's say the last week in my life. But I was thinking about, the way that we celebrate our birthdays and those of friends in our community is a ritual. It might be something simple, like acknowledging a birthday with a simple gesture, such as enjoying a birthday cake or a muffin, making a wish, blowing out a candle. A birthday celebration can be a large party to mark a new decade or to celebrate recovery from an illness, complete with gifts, flowers, songs, and laughter. I have a ritual because it seems like the past few years I've celebrated my birthday alone while pet sitting in Seattle. And I have this ritual on my birthday of going to Panera and Starbucks, both of which offer me a free pastry and coffee. And I have found it so enlivening in that ritual because some of the employees will say happy birthday or they'll want to engage around the birthday. So it really has become this ritual, even a pilgrimage of sorts. So something simple, there is this connection to ourselves, and it can be a connection to others. Even in the connection to ourselves, there is a whole spirit world that we are connected to. So rituals can honor the living, the land, the ancestors. And I want you to remember that you are the dream of your ancestors. And the simple way you celebrate your life is a gratitude ritual to them. Instead of just having my birthday slide by, and I will tell you, I do have children and friends who typically text me or call and want to say happy birthday. There's Facebook that is just such a beautiful place of people honoring each other in simple ways. But just not letting the birthday slide by and taking a moment to acknowledge that you are alive because your ancestors kept the lineage alive. Okay, so a few steps to think about with ritual, and I'll just share a little bit about that. One is I really recommend that you call on a trusted guide to clear the energy in the space and set up ritual boundaries. It is, like I said, energy management, good energy management, so you can feel yourself within whatever ritual you are doing. The second thing is to set an intention. What is the intention of your ritual? It might be as simple as to celebrate this birthday and thank my ancestors for giving me life. And a couple of other lines I'll just share with you as ideas to let this stir within you. It could be to honor and remember my mother, whether she is living or in spirit, or it could be father, grandmother, grandfather. To honor my mother's lineage and all the grandmothers on this line. And that could be that you light a candle and you say, my intention is to honor my mother's lineage and all the grandmothers on this line. And I'm going to pause here. Just think about how saying those words, even in the simple act of lighting a candle in honor of your mother's lineage and all the grandmothers on this line, and how that automatically brings you into connection with them. It could be I set an intention of peace, forgiveness, healing, love for my lineage or for a specific person who has passed away to bring comfort to that spirit. Or it could be that I set an intention to connect with the land. And it could be the ocean, the mountains, flowers, animals, a season. It could be a specific, uh, like hummingbird that you have been seeing in the yard. And it's like, I intend to connect with the hummingbird and to thank them for the spirit that they bring into my yard. To thank all the nature spirits, to let them know I am listening. I set an intention to release judgment, anger, fear, control, and live my life with my joy. Or it can be I set an intention to remember my ancestors and amplify the blessings with beauty and nourishment. So, a third step, and I kind of wove that into the second step of intentions, is to choose a simple action step. And ritual can be as simple as something that you're already doing, where it's like gathering with friends to break bread, to catch up on your lives, and then paying attention in that connection to hold space for the heart connections that you have with the people you are breaking bread with. A simple action could be taking a walk in nature as a daily, weekly, or monthly practice, and then using your senses to notice and pay attention to what is happening around you, to smell the smells. And whatever the smells are, it's funny, I was just thinking about walking in the city and sometimes smelling garbage, and it's like, but there is a beauty in the decomposition of things, things going back into the earth. And then you could speak to nature, ask questions, create space for listening as a ritual. Taking a bath to release the burdens from a lineage. You could set an intention that you want to release the burdens from the lineage and then prepare the bath with herbs or flower essences, Epsom salt or Himalayan pink salt, light candles. And this ritual of getting into the bathtub, when we talk about intention and reverence, could be entering in slowly with connection to your body, to the water, to the flower essences, to the candlelight. And with that intention, asking that the burdens be moved out of your body. A simple ritual could be preparing a cup of tea and then inviting a vibrant, wise ancestor to sit with you. And then sit quietly and listen. Maybe you'll have an insight as you are drinking your cup of tea. Or maybe when you wake up the next morning, you have an insight. And then one more could be using your journal to ask questions and write words that flow into your pen. That's sitting with intention of listening, sitting with intention of connecting with the spirit world. So, to just kind of wrap up with this whole idea of rituals, think about how a ritual can be a moment of pausing to say thank you or practice appreciation. Actually, I've lately been doing a ritual of appreciation because it's so easy for me at times to think about my day and what I could have done to improve certain things or been better at something or whatever, the critiquing of it. It's not even negative self-talk. It's more about like the little ways that kind of critiquing something can come in. And I've got this practice right now where it's more than gratitude. This level of appreciation is kind of a higher vibration even than joy. When there's this appreciation for the moments that touched me, whether it was laughter or joy or feeling my heart open with love, that this simple act of appreciation, even in the midst of a challenging day, finding something to appreciate. And then I would invite you to also reflect on the small rituals, habits, or traditions that you already have in place and how they impact your life and how you could even bring more presence to it. I'm thinking about how sometimes I'll make a cup of coffee in the morning and I'm drinking the coffee and I don't even have any recollection of the steps to make it. But if I just slow down enough to notice the flame when I turn on the water, or turn on the heat on the stove, or when I'm putting water into the tea kettle, like that kind of presence and attention brings more connection to what is happening through the day. And then, so the final one is just reflect on where you would like to live your life with more intention. And I just shared an example of the coffee. Where can we live life with more intention? And what is required of each of us to bring more presence into our life in these simple rituals? So, for anyone who's listening to the recording, I'd love to have you post in the comments about some of the rituals you have in your life or a way that you celebrate your birthday, um, or something else that got sparked. But now I'm going to turn off the recording, and for the people who are here,